talk to Rams players about Sean McVay, and they don't hit once the season starts. So, like, if you've got the right coach and the right culture, it isn't as tough as it is playing for a bad team.
It's absolutely true. People ask me all the time, like, do you get nervous before you go on air? And I'm like, no, I'm not. The only time I'm ever nervous is if I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know what's happening. What are we going to do? That's when I get nervous. We're prepped for days, for hours before the show. If you're prepared, there's nothing to be nervous about because this is what you do. Like, this is what we do. This is what they do. They play football. So if you're prepared, he said he talks to his offensive line a lot. Like, they're in constant communication. So the more that you are prepared, the easier it's going to be. Obviously, the speed of the game from college to the NFL is going to go up tremendously, but he knows what to do because he has good coaching. I am obviously thrilled with how the Dolphins are playing lately, and they have the Broncos this week, which Broncos at the Jets, Bengals, and then the Chiefs. We'll see how that one goes.
I like Miami again. They create turnovers, and Denver obliges.
Yeah, Drew Lock has been very, very gracious with the turnovers lately. So the Raiders, speaking of the Chiefs, the Raiders defeated the Chiefs 40-32 in Kansas City back in Week 5. I love this story. After the game, the Raiders team's buses circled Arrowhead Stadium as if to take a victory lap before heading to the airport.
Love it.
And ahead of their second matchup this Sunday, Andy Reid and John Gruden spoke about the incident.
Listen, they won the game, so they can do anything they want to do. That's not our style, but we'll get ourselves back, ready to play.
Andy Reid mentioned a couple times the victory lap you guys took in KC. Is that something that you think about this week as far as bulletin board material?
Not really. I mean, you can find a smart aleck bus driver in Kansas City who made some snide comments when we got on the bus. Maybe that's why we drove around the stadium to tick him off. You know, this is ridiculous. Next question.
That is so funny.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You know, it's obviously not a story, but it's just funny. It's funny to ask about.
The NFL, since I was a kid, the Raiders have always been the rebel of the league.
Right.
They were always. I remember the first time I saw the Raiders, I thought they were wearing practice jerseys. They were all ripped and tattered, and their owner, Al Davis, fought the league, and John Madden, guys would be sitting on helmets, and this is who they've been. So the Raiders are perfect in Vegas because it's an outlaw city.
Yep.
And this, I think the NFL is better when the Raiders are good and a little obnoxious and a little loud. It is perfect. Every league needs a villain, and I don't see the Raiders as a villain, but around the league, they're a little contrarian to the corporate NFL way of doing business.
Absolutely, and you need those brands,
of course,
in every league. I think, and it's not a knock on Derek Carr at all, but I think if Derek Carr had a little edge to him, then they would fully lean into that. But Derek Carr is such a nice guy. Like, he just doesn't. He's obviously a great player, but he doesn't fit that, like, Raiders attitude.
Big Ben feels a little more Raider.
Yes.
He's a little scruffy. He'll tell you what he thinks. He's got a little drama. Big Ben to the Raiders, he feels a little bit like...
I mean, even someone like Baker.
Yeah, I mean, Baker would fit.
Even like Joe Burrow, who's not a big talker, but just has, like, a tiny little bit of edge to him. But I love it, though. I'm really looking forward to this game. It is a funny story. It's just funny listening to the two of them talk about it.
College football's always, in my mind, been better when big city Miami and big city USC are a little obnoxious.
Yeah.
Baseball's better when the Yankees are winning and are a little obnoxious. It's okay to have somebody that pushes back on the corporate shield of the NFL.
I'm a big fan of villains.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really have a strong story without a strong villain.
Yeah.
You got to know who to root for, who to root against. And they do have to be a little bit over the top, a little bit flamboyant or obnoxious. So just a little bit of edge. It's fun. Finally, James Harden has made it pretty clear he's trying to get out of Houston. He reportedly declined a contract extension that would have made him the first $50 million a year player in the NBA and is focused on being traded to the Brooklyn Nets. The Rockets and the Nets have reportedly been in contact, but there's not been any meaningful dialogue yet. Harden is under contract for multiple years, so Houston has the ability to slow play this process and flesh out offers and also try and change his mind. They want him to be there long term, but he wants to win a championship, so he's trying to get his way over to the Nets because he thinks that they have a window to win a title, and he's trying to be there.
I will say, no league has more of its stars willing to give money back.
Can't say it's a money move.
It's not a money move, and I've seen that Kevin Durant gave up some money, and I've seen multiple players. Anthony Davis gave up some money.
LeBron, Wade, and Bosh gave up money when they teamed up in Miami. No one pays attention to that. But it's also a very unique league in that, well, most leagues now, big-time stars have a lot of endorsement deals, but
Right.
you have crazy money with shoe contracts and things like that. So it becomes a little easier to sacrifice a 10 or 20 million here or there when you're making 50 million a year on shoe contracts. And I don't know what his contract is, but I will say this is fun like I said, it's fun for us. It's fun for people to get to talk about the league. I don't really necessarily feel bad for Houston in this case. Like, Houston had an opportunity. They made moves to get stars and they couldn't get it done. I think there's plenty of fingers you can point at to make that case. I don't know if this works unless everyone buys in. To your point at the beginning of the show, while basketball is very much a star sport, you have to play your role.
Yes.
Like, yes, you need a star, you need a leader, you need the number one guy. But if everyone else buys into the role, you can absolutely win championships and have a dynasty. But you have to buy 100% into your role. And I think that has a lot to do with not only the stars buying in, but having a coach that can convince you that this is what's going to work. And if they can put that together, I think the Nets will be a problem. But that's a big if.
Yeah, Kevin Durant's the best player of the three. If Kevin did a little bit of a LeBron where he holds his teammates accountable, and if Kevin's healthy and hitting it, then I think they could potentially fall into place. Let's see Kevin post-injury, but I mean, Kevin's the best player of the three.
I think he's going to be fine post-injury. It's just a matter of what you want. Like, if you say you want to win